How
the
many
future.
new green jobs are there?
I have to get the exact number, but there's a press release about it, lowering the price of prescription drugs, especially for Medicare Part D. 62% of Americans think that at least some portion of student debt should be forgiven. These are people who you could really make the argument are victims of the system.
Jessica Tarlov, the lone voice of truth on Fox News, went at her four MAGA co-hosts again, combating the narratives they were trying to construe of Biden and student debt relief, where I think she makes a multitude of just astounding points, not only to the scope of the benefits, but being sure to slip in some of the successes of the Biden administration as well. So let's start there with her response to the MAGA extremists, acting as if Biden has just neglected seniors to focus only on younger voters. Quick break from the video. I am very excited to announce for anyone who enjoys the content and would love to help the channel, we have memberships available for as low as $3 a month. I mean, the only way we become a society is together, right? For just $3 a month, you can tremendously aid us in growing and putting out increasingly more engaging content. If you would like to find out more about that, including the exclusive perks that memberships get, including members only posts, getting videos early, I will leave a link to that in the description. Thank you very much for all the support, and back to the video.
Benefits for those who have a college education, canceling their debt. You know, what about benefits to, seniors who can't make any more money, or veterans, or the working class?
Well, there are a lot of benefits to seniors. If you look at what's gone on as part of the Inflation Reduction Act, lowering the price of prescription drugs, especially for Medicare Part D, is a huge win for seniors. Insulin going down to $35 a month. That's something that has, like a 99% approval rating. In terms of getting jobs in all of these green industries, there are a huge number of apprenticeship programs under the Biden-Harris administration. Just because you get a job and it's a green job, you might not like it as much, but it's still paying you and it's training you for the future.
How many new green jobs are there?
I have to get the exact number, but there's a press release about it, and there are a lot of, there are.
I want to quickly note, this is a continuum fallacy to pretend because someone cannot tell you every single step of something or fact about it that it must not be true is in no way an argument. It doesn't prove it to either be true or false. It's all about optics, right? Just because I can't tell you how many grains of sand you put into a pile, make it become a pile and not just a couple grains of sand, doesn't mean that it won't inevitably become a pile of sand if you put enough grains of sand in it, right? So furthermore, Biden has created over 250,000 clean energy jobs and counting with his legislation, including a focus on rural and low income communities that are the most impacted by things like the pandemic or recessions or the effects of Donald Trump's presidency and his mishandling of COVID. And as Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna put it, where were the factories that Donald Trump promised? Where were his jobs? They never came. He actually lost jobs, as we've covered time and time again. And to now try and say that Biden is forgetting seniors is another weak talking point. And as Jessica pointed out, we've lowered insulin costs. We've lowered medicine costs across the book. We've lowered out-of-pocket costs for insurance out of the book. We've expanded Medicare for seniors, protected Social Security, something Trump and Republicans wanted to go at time and time again. These are all things that tremendously help seniors. Paying $35 instead of $400 for insulin. Imagine what they could do with that excess money. That is a good chunk of rent for some people.
62% of Americans think that at least some portion of student debt should be forgiven. And they've targeted 5 kinds of borrowers. And I think you guys would be hard pressed to say these people haven't gotten it rough. And some of it is the interest rate problem. Certainly private institutions are gouging kids. I love to see how many medical schools are now being fully funded, that billionaires are stepping in and just saying no one should come out of this with debt. But these borrowers, people who owe more now than when they borrowed, who've owed for over 20 plus years, people who have just $10,000 in debt and then they can have their life back. Folks who enrolled in, quote, low-value academic programs, so they used to have a financial aid program, and now they don't. These are people who you could really make the argument are victims of the system versus what you would say it was, that it's kids who are out there earning $250,000. This is for low and middle income people.
Republicans love to talk about tyranny of the minority until they want to enforce policy that goes against what the majority of Americans want when they're polled. Student debt relief is economic relief for everyone. This frees money up to go back into the economy and get passed around with a higher multiplier than just going to a rich person who's going to hoard it. Money for businesses that will create jobs jobs for everyone in the economy, as well as the benefits of having a more affluent society and workforce as a whole should be pretty evident. I think there should be people with a wider range of socioeconomic backgrounds working as social workers or therapists. Maybe we would get more places. Maybe we wouldn't have to send cops in to deal with mental health crises. I think we would see a multitude of benefits from this, right? More consumer spending is more GDP. More GDP is more money to be put back into society for things that helps everyone rather than hoarded by faceless billionaires who are just rich debt collectors. And we've discussed the predatory nature of the lending industry time and time again, especially with student borrowers. I mean, Mohela is going through congressional hearings right now for the increased difficulties and troubles they've caused borrowers by lying to them and guiding them to do things that were against their best interests, all to just save them funds and time. Society will sell you this dream that the only way to have some sort of class mobility, to make your situation any better, is to get a degree, which to some degree can be true, right? But to do that, they put every hoop in front of you they can to make it cost more and more and put more of a financial barrier between you and that degree, all the while dangling it and the effects, the benefits you'll get from it so close to you that you'll keep lining their pockets at your behest because you're going further and further in debt, that in most of these degrees, the income never matches what the debt is. You're going to have a hard enough time paying it off. You're always going to be paying it off for years down the line. And that's why you see a lot of the people Biden is targeting this relief at are people who have had student debt relief for 20 plus years. You shouldn't go to college and 20 years later be paying that degree off. There's no sense in that. It's no surprise that while education costs have went up 180% since the 70s, real wages have only gone up 0.7%. It's clear where the priorities are of the wealthy, and it's in keeping the money and quality education for themselves, regardless of how much is then left for everyone else. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together. Peace.